Hello again, Joe Stunner Boxing here, mug of tea on the go. Thought we'd talk a little boxing. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. If you're already subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate your support. Keep watching the videos, leave your comments. It's always great to hear from you, and your support is always appreciated. Okay, now let's have a think about DAZN, because I did a video yesterday where I was talking about the sort of an early term report on Sky and DAZN. And something occurred to me afterwards, something that I didn't talk about in that video, which is the presenters. Now, DAZN, I'm going to concentrate on the DAZN presenters, because I think with Sky, you've still got Adam Smith at the helm, and people, there's still familiar faces there. There ain't really a lot to talk about. With DAZN, it's different, of course, because they started from scratch, essentially. And when Eddie Hearn unveiled his crew, there was very much mixed feelings about it. A lot of people said, that's a terrible lineup, I'm really disappointed. Some people said it's a mixed bag. And a lot of people, probably myself included, thought, we'll see how it goes. Because some of the people that are on there, I don't even know. So I thought what I'd do with this video is I'd go through the main presenters for DAZN and discuss, just give you my opinion on what I think of them so far and where I think the whole thing is going. So we'll start with Mike Costello, who I've always liked Mike Costello's work on radio. I think he was fantastic on 5 Live. On the occasions when I listened to 5 Live boxing, maybe I was away, I couldn't watch the fight, couldn't stream it, couldn't watch it on whatever. So I listened to 5 Live, and there's no doubt as a radio commentator, he is excellent, absolutely excellent. But radio is not telly. Being a televisual presence is different to being on radio. The skills are different. If you're on television, you can't talk too much. You can't be over imposing. You can't state the obvious of what the viewer is seeing. On radio, you need to create a picture, almost like you're trying to explain what's happening to someone who's blind. And I think the transition. I think the jury's still out with Mike Costello. I do like the guy. I do think he's got potential to be a good commentator. Nothing wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just a little bit, sort of, at the moment, a little bit vanilla. And he hasn't really shown any... It's very, very early days. I don't want to be unfair to anyone, but he hasn't really shone as much as I think Eddie Hearn thought he would. Because Eddie gave him the big up, Mike Costello, he's brilliant, legend, blah, blah, blah. So I like Costello, he's okay, but he needs to become not an overbearing presence, but more of a character, more of a personality. Now, Andy Lee we all know about Andy Lee. I think he did work for Sky previously. He came with Eddie to DAZN. I like him. I like Andy Lee. There have been a couple of occasions on the DAZN shows where he's actually, I think it's rather out of character, where he's actually got quite excited and quite emotional. I prefer him when he's in the clinical, insightful mode. Don't forget, this guy was trained by Adam Booth and the very great Emmanuel Stewart. Was a former world champ himself. He's worked in Tyson Fury's camp, so he knows what he's talking about. And yeah, overall, yeah, I like him. I think he's a good wingman for Costello or any other commentator. Chris Lloyd. Now, I didn't really know much about Chris Lloyd when he was announced as a DAZN commentator, but I think he's the dark horse in the pack. I've really been impressed with him. He was seen. He was kind of presented with Darren Barker as, they're like the Laurel and Hardy of DAZN. Insulting, but you know what I mean. or the Ant and Deck of DAZN. No, that is insulting. But I've been impressed with him. I think his commentary's been absolutely excellent. He clearly knows the sport. Again, he's not egotistical. He's not imposing himself too much on the viewer. And I think his work's been very, very impressive. Very impressive. So I think they may have a winner there. Darren Barker. Now, Darren Barker seems like a great guy. Former world champ. He's Eddie's mate. Absolutely nothing bad to say about the guy. But I suppose he is a bit of an everyman. And a lot of people won't like that. A lot of people like bluster. They like trash talk. They like controversy. And very rarely is any of that stuff legit. It's normally created to form some sort of fake aura, so that all the casuals, to draw the casuals in, oh yeah, trash talking, oh yeah, he called him this, he called him that. I'm not into that stuff. But Darren Barker is perhaps a little bit too the other way, a little bit too much of an everyman. Again, a little bit beige. So the jury's still out with him. He's okay as a presenter, but I wouldn't say he's going to tear up any trees in the broadcasting world. Let's talk about the ladies now. Maya Jama, or as a friend of mine calls her, Mrs. Pajamas. He's as infantile as I am. Maya Jama, never heard of her beforehand. Don't know a thing about her. Didn't know who she was. Saw a picture of her, thought, yeah, she's pretty. I got the impression that she might just be the sort of eye candy, the hot toddy. No complaints about her. I've read that she's not a boxing fan. She doesn't really know anything about boxing, but she doesn't have to. And the work she's done, the presenting she's done has been fine. They kind of paired her up with Tony Bellew initially, which didn't... Well, these things always take time to gel, but I got the feeling that perhaps that there could be a better matchup. So Maya Jama, no complaints, but sure enough, there was a better matchup, because along comes Laura Woods, who I think is very, very impressive. She's got sports broadcasting background. I like her a lot. I think she comes across as very professional, very personable. Not that Maya Jama doesn't. She seems nice enough. But Laura Woods, she's got that confidence, that presence that, some of the others, Barker is a good example, that don't seem to have. She's not forcing herself on you, who are misses, but she's there. When she's on the screen, she's a presence, and she compels you to listen to what she's saying. And she seems to understand boxing well enough. Her and Bellew, I think, is a better matchup than Bellew and Maya. So I like Laura Woods a lot. I think she's very, very good. Who else have we got now? Well, one person that I really think is going places is Ade Oladipo. Have I pronounced his name right? Oladipo? If not Ade, I'm sorry. But of course, many of you, like myself, will remember Ade from the old Box Talk days. It used to be Ade and his friend Ryan used to do Box Talk. Great channel. They'd talk about boxing. You could leave your comments. They'd comment on your comments. And yeah, it was really, really great. And Ade's gone places. I mean, I think he worked for Fox Sports in South Africa, was it? Or Africa at some point. And now he's with DAZN. And I think he translates excellently to television or streaming or whatever the hell you want to call it. I think he's very, very good. He's chatty. He's friendly. He's very personable. And it doesn't always follow that YouTubers or people that start off on YouTube can translate well, because there are lots of terrific YouTubers out there. I really enjoy Hatman's videos, Boxing Beats and Rhymes. I always listen to him. These guys really know their stuff. Chris Andre, fantastic breakdown of styles and tactics, and really, really like his videos. But would any of these guys translate to television? Because it's a very different medium. I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm just saying it's a different medium. you don't have 15 minutes to make a video and to go into the minutiae of what it is you want to talk about. Someone who would translate to television probably, I think, is G-Man Boxing. Again, nice. He's Irish lad. If you don't know him, go to G-Man Boxing. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. Really terrific channel. I think his style, I think he's done some work on TalkSport with Addy. I think he knows Addy. He would translate to television, I think, quite well. But not all YouTubers do. But Addy definitely does. Addy's got future in broadcasting, and I can see him being promoted. He's also within DAZN. He's already done work with Bellew, where they've kind of interviewed people backstage, and they riff off each other, and it's good enough. It's good. It's good stuff. As for Bellew, I didn't mention Bellew, did I? As for Bellew, again, another one of Eddie's friends. Bit of a Marmite character. Tends to bunny on a little bit for my liking, but see, Bellew is one of those people who knows the game. And you've got to respect what he did within the game. But some of his conclusions, some of the statements he makes are just very, very perplexing to me. I'm like, what? What did you just say? I'm trying to think of an example. He'll talk a lot of sense. And then the conclusion he comes to, you'll think, well, what are you talking about? Doesn't that contradict what you previously said? Bellew, I'm not sure about. Marmite character, talks a lot. It's hard to believe for Scouser, isn't it? I'm only joking. Don't be a snowflake. No, he yaps, but like I could talk. This video's already 12 minutes old. But he tends to talk a bit and flits between talking complete sense and a lot of repetitive hot air. So Bellew, yeah, take him or leave him. Eddie's mate. But the thing is about Andy Lee, and to a greater extent Bellew, is that they came from Sky. So their presence it does give DAZN's, or the presentation that Matchroom are aiming for on DAZN, a sense of the Sky 2.0 thing, not really the game changer that Eddie was saying it would be. But overall, I think the DAZN team are okay. They're doing okay. By no means perfect, but early days, and I think the presenters are probably shaping up. In general, shaping up. There'll be changes. There'll be people brought in. People will leave, but yeah, give it time. I think it's all right. What do you think? Leave your comments below, and yeah, I'd like to hear what your opinion is. Who you like, who you don't like, who you think could be replaced, and by whom. So let me know your thoughts. All right. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.